the President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor J.E.A. Mills, Your Excellencies, the former President of the Republic of Ghana, former President John Jerry Rawlings, and former President J. Kufuor, Your Excellencies, distinguished ambassadors to Ghana, honorable ministers of state, honorable members of parliament, members of the diplomatic corps, Chief Executive and President of Talo Ghana Limited, honorable Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives, the clergy, Nananom, Awulamo, Name, the press, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to start my address by saying that today is one of the joyous and greatest days, not only to the people of the Western region in particular, but to all Ghanaians in general. The excitement following the discovery of oil and gas and the high expectations generated therefrom and prayers from all Ghanaians are going to see the light of day. That is why I'm highly delighted to be part of this fateful moment and to be given the honor to welcome His Excellency, the President of Ghana and others to this function, and indeed the oil city of Kenditakrad. Your Excellency, let me first commend Talo Ghana Limited and its partners and the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation for appropriately settling on Takoradi to host this program, a decision which no doubt was informed by the fact that the Western region is the hub of the oil and gas and should therefore host the carnival of this arrival. It is now a well-known fact that Ghana, and particularly Western region, is in the limelight attracting investment from all corners of the globe because of the potentially viable oil and gas industry. It's also obvious that specific employment opportunities will be created for petrochemical engineers, also fabrication, construction, materials and procurement, research and development services, transportation, supply, marine and development services, logistics services, finance and insurance, and shipping. Artisans such as welders, masons, and the hospitality industry, among others, will also be exposed to the employment opportunities. Establishment of industries and enterprises such as of oil refineries and service outlets to serve as supply points of spare parts to the oil industry, and the construction of estate housing to meet the high demand from the business community, a viable source of employment being established by various organizations. Economic activities will also be enhanced due to the influence of investors, which will consequently lead to increased demand for goods and services. Improved infrastructure such as harbor, city transport, air and seaport development, as well as railways. Improvement in road conditions and networks will also be given a boost. Besides, it is expected that the construction of additional power supply sources through hydroelectricity to augment the existing facilities will be explored. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot deny the fact that the oil and gas industry will open the region for more investment opportunities in other areas such as gold, cocoa, bauxite, agriculture, and others, which are yet to be harnessed in full. The discovery of oil in the region has therefore created a regional identity, distinguishing it from others. It is abundantly clear that the Western region has become the convergent point for investors across the world because of the potential viable oil and gas industry. It is, however, important to reflect on the fact that in the midst of anxiety for the investment from the industry, we should beware of the challenges as well. There are some serious concerns that we need to address. The restrictions imposed on fishermen not to fish within a specified radius of the location of the rig in the interest of the nation could raise concerns, especially loss of jobs and other hazards, which could widen the poverty margins of fishermen. There's also environmental problems arising from water and air pollution and uncontrolled sale of lands in areas closer to the oil fields. Those could also result in conflict among landowners. Moreover, there will be arbitrary increases in residential rents and hotel rates due to pressure on limited accommodation and hostel facilities. On the health front, the likelihood of the spread of sexually transmitted diseases, particularly HIV and AIDS and other health problems such as malaria, TB, and other airborne diseases cannot be underestimated. Your Excellency, pressure on the few health, education, and other services and facilities is emphasized in large proportions. Food insecurity as a result of high demand against low production, coupled with arbitrary increases in price of general goods and services and local transport fares are predicted. Closely linked to this is the congestion in the streets, leading to vehicular and human traffic in the urban city of Skandi Takoradi. Ladies and gentlemen, there's also the call for all stakeholders to come together and share ideas and thoughts that will lead to the development of a holistic and strategic action plan for the region's development. This will enable the region to position itself in order to take full advantage of the benefits of the oil and gas industry. Your Excellency, the people of the Western region have for a long time now agitated for a fair share of the national cake in view of the neglect despite its contribution to the gross domestic product. The demand for equity has been heightened in the recent times following the discovery of oil and gas. There is no hidden fact that the Western region could be described as a region which holds the key to Ghana's development in view of its substantial natural endowment. Your Excellency, despite these contributions to the prosperity of the country, the region is one of the least developed in the country. I'm convinced, therefore, that being a listening president and father for all, you will empathize with the plight of the people of the Western region and direct the alternative measures to be put in place to meet their aspirations. Your Excellency, the recent call by the chiefs of this region for a percentage of the oil find should not be interpreted to mean an attack on the government. The people of this region are always ready to partner the government to bring about meaningful development of the nation. As a region, our expectations for both the short and long term, as far as the benefits of the oil revenue is concerned, are numerous. Notably, we expect that the revenue will be used for maintenance and provision of an efficient air transport, port and harbor infrastructure, intermediate means of transport, and the rehabilitation of major roads linking the rural and urban areas. Aside above, the various oil and gas companies will have to live up to their social responsibilities by providing communities with development projects such as schools, drainage, sanitation, and drainage facilities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as to whether the oil and gas will be a blessing or curse will depend on the attitude of Ghanaians. Your Excellency, permit me to alert the people of the Western region about the social vices that may arise as a result of the fledgling oil and gas industry. Outside in social vices such as armed robbery, pickpocketing, increased human or child trafficking and abuse, cross-border issues such as money laundering, illegal entry, and other forms of cross-border crimes are likely to escalate. We must all therefore take precautionary measures against any unwritten behavior or conduct from those who are bent on perpetrating them. The security agencies have so far collaborated and worked day and night to maintain the peace. There will, however, be the need to strengthen them and properly equip the security agencies to perform their functions more effectively and efficiently. Fortunately, relevant laws are being promulgated, which, when passed, will guide individuals and organizations to operate effectively and within a serene environment. And therefore, I appeal to all oil and gas companies in the industry to abide by the rules and regulations, particularly those on local content to generate employment for the indigenous. While commending the government for the fruitful efforts and Tullow Ghana Limited for the bold initiatives and actions, I wish to use this platform to extend my sincere gratitude and thanks to the chiefs and people of the Western region, the security agencies, heads of departments, civil society organizations, the media, the clergy, and all meaning people in the region for the support and cooperation they extended to the Regional Coordinating Council and for championing the developmental agenda of the region since the oil find. Thank you. You are all welcome.
Thank you very much, Honorable Evans Adu.